Hey there, you're watching the Dave Does channel. I am Dave Does, and this is Dave Does Reacts, and today I'm going to be checking out the band I Prevail, and the song is Rain. Now, I Prevail is a band I have checked out years ago. Would be the best way of putting it. So, I had the album maybe 10, 11 years ago, something like that, and I really enjoyed the album I got at the time, whatever the album was called. And yeah, after a while, I kind of stopped listening to it and I moved on to other things. And I kind of tried to go back into them in recent years, listen to the album again. I'm just never really connected the same way that I did at the time. So it was very much a band that I was in for a moment, but really never kind of got back into, which is it's a shame because sometimes it happens that you kind of just vibe with something. Now I go back to it and listen to it, and I've been listening to so many. I've been inundated with metalcore type bands and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, do you know what? I'm kind of done with that whole scene. It just feels so repetitive and so, yeah, just so nowadays. But I'm going to check out the song right now. This is maybe the first or second time I've checked out anything out from them since they've gone down to just the one singer. Don't even know what the situation was with the other guy leaving, because obviously the previous setup was it was clean vocalist, heavy vocalist. And rest, I believe now does the guitarist take on the clean stuff, and the guy still does the heavy stuff, and they've moved to a heavier direction. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to check it out. With all my videos, I don't pause the video and I don't talk over the top of it. I'm going to play it from start to finish, all the way to the end, and then I'll talk about the video and I'll talk about the song itself separately. We'll talk about how it works combined and all that sort of stuff at the end of the video. It's 3 minutes 23 seconds, so if you don't want to watch me just staring at a screen for 3 minutes 23 seconds, you can jump ahead. If not, you can enjoy the video, and I'll be up in the corner somewhere, over there somewhere, in a little tiny box, watching the videos, just to prove that I am actually paying attention, sort of. Let's do this. This is I Prevail and Rain.
Season.
Okay, there we go. I Prevail and Rain. Good track. Let's get that out of the way first, and we'll just give my overall thoughts on it. Yeah, it's a good song. Good, catchy, great vocals there from the vocalist. As I said, I wasn't sure what the situation was with the clean and heavy, and he's obviously able to do both, which is great. Because there's always that reliance, especially within metalcore. Like, yeah, we need a clean vocalist. We'll get the guitarist to do it because they always fancy themselves as a bit of vocalist. These guitarists lot. Um, but yeah, I think he did a great job. Production of it, really crisp sound. I love that point of view. Um, it is very. I mean, metalcore is so formulaic now. The metalcore bands all just sound the same. They all follow the very similar structures on it. So I'm never surprised, and I wasn't surprised with anything on here. But what I will say is it's a great example. It reminds me of a band called Rise to Fall, and they had a song called Acid Rain. Had a very similar vibe to this. And again, yeah, of course you're going to have water in it. You're going to have it, some sort of, in this case, a computer generated backdrop and water effects and so forth in it, which was done very nicely. Has been the same for the last sort of 20 years. It's probably a lot easier even now, but back then it was harder. Back in the early 2000s, now this effect is probably relatively easy to do. Just shoot the whole band on whatever it is, probably a blue screen rather than a green screen, so you don't get as much bleed, and then just basically put it all in into an effects. Would I have preferred a live action video? Probably, but I think to get the effect that they were after, it made a lot more sense to, and it was probably rather than finding a location to try and get that effect and get the perfect time of day and then get water machines and stuff and wet the band and wet equipment. It's just probably just so much easier just to do it on a computer screen and so forth. So, and it did look very, very good. I normally split my kind of critique as I go along, but yeah, I'm kind of blurring the two here. But yeah, chord progressions, very nice. The breakdown into the chorus, the midsection breakdown, they all sounded really good. I mean, if you're talking about good examples of kind of metalcore bands, I Prevail are very good. You can go to the more extreme end of metalcores, and you get into, effectively you move into deathcore, and you get into bands like Sort to Prevail, etc. You get bands like Killswitch. I mean, Killswitch Engager to me are like the ultimate kind of core example of metalcore, and then you move around, and they kind of incorporate a lot more thrash elements and stuff like that in there, and so they've got kind of more extreme elements, which I quite enjoy because they do kind of push the boundaries here. I Prevail, from everything I have heard. Now, remember, I haven't heard loads, so I'm sure over the last couple of albums there'll be great examples of them pushing the boundaries one way or the other. And you've got bands like I don't know where Fall in Reverse would sit in this, so I'm not really sure where Fall in Reverse, but again, Bring Me the Horizon are kind of, where do they sit in this? There's so many subcategories of the metalcore genre alone. So it used to just be like you'd have thrash, death metal, metalcore, and then it kind of there, or hardcore, and then it kind of then became metalcore, then it became deathcore, then it became metalcore progressive, then metalcore, or progressive metal, progressive death metal core, and then nowadays it's just, there's so many subcategories within metalcore, but the core element of this song is incredibly well structured but used by a lot of the bands, because that's something that the listener's looking for. You want something that you can instantly know. And as a musician, when you're writing, you're sitting there writing these sections of a song, and there's almost an automatic bit. You'll come to a section, you'll be writing a riff, and then you know that it's going to be a chord progression on this section, because that's where your body and your brain is going. That's where the song should go. There are times when you have to fight that and go, yeah, but if the body's telling me it wants to go, I'm probably doing this too much. And you do have to listen and look at your whole album. When you're writing a whole album's worth of material, you kind of go, I'm going far too often into this formulaic writing, and you almost have to force yourself to kind of get out of that. But you can go the opposite direction with that and go far too out, and then you become progressive, and then you become, so it's not accessible, and then it becomes very niche. And then you get the critique of someone like me who'll then go, oh, you've got far too many changes, you should simplify it down and make it a bit more accessible. So you can't win. You just can't win with people like me. You can. There is ways to win. But for me, listening to this, good song. Would it get me back into Prevail? I don't know, because I'm not. I've got some metalcore albums I listen to, so I've kind of got what I need. Unless you're going to give me something new, I don't really need 10 more bands playing 10 more albums worth of material that all kind of sound like each other. Then I'm just listening. It feels like I'm listening to 3 hours worth of the same one song. So I'd rather pick one or two songs that I really enjoy, and I'll just listen to those along with a collection of other songs from other bands, etc. But it's they have done enough to pique my interest again in them, to keep an eye on them for future, in case they do something that makes me kind of go, yeah, I can listen to this band a little bit more. But they are a very, very good band, and they do, within their categories and their genre, they do really, really well. Um, and I will say, I'm an incredibly hard person to kind of get onto a playlist for. There's very, and I wish it wasn't. I wish I had the passion that other people I know have of discovering new music. I mean, they will listen to every band out there. They will literally, and they will be jumping on every band. Go, this band's amazing. This band's amazing. This band's amazing. Me, I get it. I go, oh, this band reminds me of this band. This one reminds me of Alice in Chains, and then I go, well, I've got Alice in Chains, and I think they're really cool. So why do I need this one? Why do I need this new band when I've got this other band? Unless you're really into the live stuff and you want to catch them live and so forth, because can't afford Alice in Chains tickets, and it's not the same anymore anyway. So there you go. Well, that was a weird rant for the end of a video. So I don't know where I was going with that one. But there we go. That was Rain and I Prevail. I don't know. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Always grateful for commentary on any of my videos, as they usually end up being me ranting for some random amount of time about music in general. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and I will see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.